All right, let's see how I made this. It's a cool thing. You can scroll back in your history all the way to the beginning, and you can either play it as an animation. Check this out. Play button, bottom left corner. And you can see all the parts and all the pieces as they were created, what was done, in what order, and how that worked. And eventually, you get to the end. Ta-da. Okay, so let me take you through step by step. What did we do? The first thing I did, I should zoom out a little bit, was create this body, because I wanted to be able to have a vertical surface to click on to make a plane for a sketch plane. So I ended up doing that. You don't actually have to do that. You can click on the vertical surface at the origin point. That also works. So we don't actually need to see that. Then I brought up a sketch plane. Okay, here, create sketch. No problem. When you do that, it's going to ask you to put a sketch plane somewhere. And that's where you click on one of those yellow planes. Then the next thing I did was bring in a canvas. I gotta make that visible too. There's my canvas. That is insert attached canvas. Okay, I'm gonna insert a canvas here, or it'll say insert canvas. That's basically a PNG file or a JPEG. No problem. And it'll come in on the surface where you were gonna put your sketch. Great, no problem. Then you actually have to do the sketch part. So to get the pan, let me zoom back in. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. Let me back up one. Backing up. Here we go. So you would, under sketch, spline, which is where you make the curvy bit, okay, to help outline. And your outline's never really accurate at the beginning, but it's a little accurate. And then you just merely click and draw and maybe click a couple times if it's going the wrong direction, and kind of give yourself an outline and as detailed as you need it to be. Whatever. Okay. So then once you have that sketch, it'll be yellow and flat. Then you go into, to get it to be a thing, press pull, right? Press pull will let you select your sketch and then pull it out. And I pulled this out, I don't know, 5 millimeters maybe? Not that far, maybe 4. Then I made another sketch. Is it going to show me my sketch? Where are my sketches? Doop. Sketches. Oh, that's why. There's my cat sketch, right? There's my cat sketch right there. And then, same thing. Modify, press pull, and that's that step. Now, my cat has some depth. Fabulous. And I made it so that the cat and the pan were not quite the same, so that it kind of looked like the cat's in the pan, right? You can see I skipped part of the pan. There are no whiskers because those are annoying. Whatever. Then I'm like, okay, cat needs eyeballs. There's one eyeball. There's another eyeball. And you will note I put the spheres halfway stuck in to the head, right? So I went to the eyes that were the dots, clicked on them, make a sphere, pull it out. I think it's maybe 2 millimeters. Made it, yay. Okay. Then what did I do? Oh, then I had to sketch the, oops. Then I had to sketch the mouth. Where's my sketch for my mouth? There we go. Bloop. There's my sketch for my mouth. Again, not as accurate as a drawing, as the original like JPEG, Canvas import. But then I pulled it out, and he has a little nose and mouth and smiley face, whatever. Maybe he's frowny mouth. All good. Okay? Then what did I do? Then I joined these things. Okay? Because if you make them, they look like they're joined, but they're not actually joined until you join them. So the difference between, backing up, having multiple bodies here and having one body there, one body, is joining them. If you join them, they will stick together when you 3D print them. If you don't, they are still separate pieces and they will fall apart and or be stuck together in awkward ways that you don't want. So make sure you're intentional about that. Then I looked at this thing and said, oh, what I really want to do is make some nice curvy edges because straight edges just look cheap. And I like my curvy edges. So I grabbed the sketch edge, the edge of the pan, and I filleted. Okay, your fillet curves the edge. Again, see the drawing gives you the little curvy edge bit. And I think I filleted 1 millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters. It'll tell you if it won't fit, okay? And just try a smaller number. You can only fillet in ways that the width of the actual material will let you do, and I think this is where I ran into some trouble because it's kind of narrow here. Then what did I do? Then I'm like, oh yeah, I should figure out a way to make this thing sit on the top of the box and sit up, because I'm like, you could just put a couple holes in it and lay it flat down, but then it's not really a handle. Okay, fine. It's a decorative bit. But instead, if I put a flat piece, I move it around a couple of times, get everything all lined up and good. And you want to get it all lined up and good, because if it's not, you check it from a couple different angles, right? Make sure it's all set in the middle where we want it. I'm going to turn the canvas off here because that's being annoying. And the sketches are still here, so maybe I turn the sketches off so we don't want to see those for a minute. Then down here, what did I do? Oh yeah, so I made a cylinder. Move this so you can see it. Here. Made a cylinder here and made it long enough so it poked well down and through here. Then I copied it and moved it over. Now I have 2. Now I have 3. Now I have 4. Then I selected them and cut. So now I don't have cylinders, I have holes. And because I missed one, I went back and did another one. And then I'm like, oh yeah, straight edges, don't like those. Let's fillet that. Let's fillet that. And you'll see I have 2 bodies here, the cat and the base, and I need them to be joined. So I joined them. Ta-da, and now I have body 4. Now that body 4, I then need to export to an STL. You're like, how do I do that? Over here, control click on that, and it says save as STL. Woohoo! Okay, so when you save as an STL, binary, it'll come up. Refinement, these are little, so high refinement is fine. Yeah, it'll be fine, it'll be nice. And then we're gonna go, okay. And when you save it, put your name at the beginning, okay? And then maybe, right? This is the cat in the pan, whatever. It'll put the STL extension on it automatically, stick it somewhere you're gonna find it, and then you're going to put that in your folder for this class and tell me so I can go get it and print it out for you. We will have to have a conversation. Make sure these are not that big. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 3, 4, 5 centimeters, maybe somewhere in that ballpark. This, I think, is 2 or 3 millimeters thick, maybe. But think about the wood that we're dealing with is, what, 4 or 5 millimeters for the lids, 5 millimeters for the lids? Not that thick, right? About half that is fine. And then this can be narrow too. So check out the demo examples that have been printed, see what you think for thickness, and make your piece. Make it the right size so that when I put it in, I print it out, it is the right size. If it's not, I'm not going to print it until I'm sure, because I'm going to look at it and go, that's too big for your box. And then we'll have to have another conversation. So make it the right size to begin with. All right. Yay, cat and pan. We're done.